Okay, the only thing that should be behind your parts counter are fast-moving parts. Okay, things like that we can do, because again, we're going to talk about transaction time here in just a little bit. Right, but I want that stuff back there where we've got parts and access to parts back there. So, transaction time. So our parts strategies, we're going to use variable pricing, or tiered, whatever you call it, it's the same thing. And we're going to use this velocity pricing. Now, whatever money we gave up here, remember I said I can't give up money because we're in business to make money. So I'm going to take whatever money I lost here, and what I'm going to do is all those spark plugs that I lost money on, I didn't lose money, you still made money on them, but I'm going to go back to those $6 and $7 spark plugs that I don't sell many of, and I'm going to add more money to those because nobody knows what that price should be. And so whatever I gave up on these, I'm going to go pick back up on my mop and glove, right? Does anybody know what a PTO switch or a relay should cost? Anybody have any idea what a choke cable or throttle cable should cost? Anybody know that? No. I could ask 20 parts managers to tell me what a PTO switch would cost and I get 20 different prices. They don't even know what it should cost. I mean, your customers don't know that stuff. So anything that I lost here, I got to do what? I got to go back and so I take my, remember I talked about my fast moving parts or my part sales by volume report? So I go to the bottom of that report for all my slower moving stuff, and then what do? I go back and I move those margins higher to absorb that money that I lost down there. Because if it's slow-moving stuff, guess by the way where it will be mostly sold to? Who will buy most of your slower-moving stuff?
Shop.
Your shop. Do they care about the price? No. So I tell people again, so again, I can do that, I can get my pricing right, I can have people walk away from my parts counter going, man, they've got what? Great prices, and they seem to have everything I need. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Transaction time. I've already talked about this a little bit. I want to just touch on it here briefly. Transaction time is the amount of time it takes for you from the moment a customer comes to the counter to the moment a customer leaves. That's the transaction time. As I said earlier in the program, most of you are probably running 7 minutes or so. Your target goal is to get that under 4 minutes. How do you make your transaction happen faster? You take your fastest moving parts and you move them where? Closer to where? Closer to the parts counter. Now let's go back to that wall again. So if you take your fast-moving parts report, you take all your fast-moving stuff, and it should be behind the wall on you, so I can do what? If a customer comes in for a set of blades that I've got maybe 5 or 6 blades that are my fastest-moving blades, right? Then I'm going to be able to turn around on my wall and do what? Now that's not where I'm going to have my total inventory at. That's all my inventory there for maybe 1 day's worth of work or a couple of days worth of work, right? There's still maybe back there someplace, but I've got all my fast-moving stuff there. I've got my recoil rope already cut into 5-foot lengths. Ends are already burned on. So when you got nothing going on that day in the parts department, we're going to go back and we're going to take 15 or 20 coils of 5 foot of starter rope in each size. We're going to go ahead and cut that and burn the ends on it. And we're going to get a little fishing tackle box up front and put it underneath the parts counter. So when somebody comes in and says, hey, I need a recoil rope, I can open up that box and I say, let me see what you got. They can do it and say, here it is. And you go, how much is in there? There's 5 foot. I don't need that much. And I know it comes cut already 5 foot. Why does it come cut 5 foot? Because what did we do this morning?
Cut it.
We cut it at 5 foot. That's how it comes pre-packaged. The person said 5 foot is way too much. I know it is, but if we can sell 4 foot, we can easily sell what? 5 foot. I never want them to be short when they make those mistakes. You know what I'm talking about? Same thing with fuel line. You guys have got your fuel line on rolls back there. I want you to go and take some of it and cut it into 1 foot lengths and put it in a fishing tackle box and have it up front. I want your little two-stroke engine filters. Not all of them, but some of them up there, so when people come up there, I want to be able to open up a box and do what? And again, we cut the fuel line into 1 foot lengths, and that's how we sell it. Somebody comes in, I don't want to have to go back, take their line, go back, measure it out, cut it off. Right? I just want to already have it done, so when I'm slow, I take some of those items like that, and I preset it. I have all my fast-moving parts duplicated at every point of sale. So if I've got 2 places I can check people out at, I've got my fastest-moving spark plugs, oil filters, my blades here. I've got a duplicate of my string trimmer line, or not my string trimmer line, but my recoil rope and my hose here, and I've got the exact same thing duplicated over here. Because I don't want guys to be doing what when you're busy? Crossing over around the edge. So if it's fast moving, let's have duplicate. And if you got 3 locations, then we have got 3 locations. Okay? That's not where we carry the bulk of the inventory. It's still back there, but we're constantly refilling that every day or every 2 days as we have time to do this. Make sense? Because now we can make people and we can get people to move through fast. The other thing about having a set transaction time is, let's say you're at the parts counter and an older gentleman walks in and he comes in carrying this carburetor in his hand, right? And there's also now, and there now another 8 people came in behind him. Remember we talked about that coveying moment? So this guy's sitting here with this carburetor and he's a nice guy and I want to help him. And he says, hey, I need a rebuild kit for this. Well, what did it come? And you're looking at it, and you're going like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this in 4 minutes. Okay? So at that moment, you're going like, this is not a task I can do in 4 minutes, and I got 8 people in line. So at this point, you're going to say, you know what, I want to help you with this, but this is going to take me a little bit of time. How about you leave it here, you go grab a cup of coffee, give me 45 minutes or so, let me get these other people through here, and then I'll do what? I don't want to not look it up for you, it's just I ain't going to take the time to do it right at this moment. I've had people do that before, and the people that have it are never upset. They go, oh, that'd be great. Right? Because I want to help them. I just don't want to do what? I don't want to take 20 minutes right now and do this. Can I do this in 4 minutes? Now, not every transaction is going to be less than 4 minutes. I tell you, someone's going to be 2 minutes, someone's going to be faster, but on the average, we're just trying to get that average down to about 4 minutes. And it already comes back to placement of parts around you. How many people are using the high-density parts cabinets? Lista, Stanley Vidmar's. Anybody using this? How many people know what the Lista or Stanley Vidmar cabinets are? Are you familiar with them? Okay, they're pricey. I tell people again, you will never regret buying them. Don't buy lots of them at a time. The big, tall, 6-door cabinets are about $2,000 a piece. You will save yourself a ton of time and money with them. Look for them on eBay. Look for them on Craigslist. New Holland Ag, there's a lot of those dealers that are going out of business. They were a part of their dealer standards program. They're going to be blue. But I tell you again, if you kind of keep your eyes open out there, you can buy those things for $300 or $400 a piece. You may have to travel a couple hundred miles to get one. It's worth the trip. So kind of keep your eyes open for them. But I would encourage you to look at those high-density parts cabinets. I can take it. Most of you guys using shelving with boxes. Okay, you realize that mostly what you're storing is air. Okay. Now again, a lot of you guys have a parts department that's starting to get crowded, and you're thinking, okay, what do? I can take probably 3 of an average parts shelf and put in one cabinet. And again, what we try to do then is put those cabinets where? Now some of you can't because your counter's too close to your wall. But I have, again, if you look underneath, by the way, what's underneath your parts counter? Oh, that's right, crap. Right?
But I might need it.
Oh, yeah. Call me, I'll help you do it. Yeah, your microfiche, you took it off the top of your counter, you put it underneath your counter, there you go. Right, so I tell you again, so look at that place underneath there as storage and things like that for parts, because what I want to try to do is just get my fastest moving parts as close as I can to me.